No matter what your circumstances is, you can still go after your goals. And when people say to think positive, don't think of the negative, that does not work when you're dealing with certain issues. Like when you learn that your father has cancer and they give him less than a year to live, you're going to be an emotional wreck. But that doesn't mean in the emotional wreck that you can't reach your goals or go to work. And also, when you learn that your uncle has advanced lung cancer, and you have to go through the pain of it all with them, in a way. Because when your family, or somebody in your family has advanced lung cancer, it doesn't just affect that person that's going through it. It affects everybody in the family just about. And I know people say, you shouldn't let other people get you down, or you shouldn't let what other people are going through get you down. Well, I'm here to tell you that I love these two people. And even though they sort of caused it themselves by smoking, I love them. And I wish they didn't have to go through this. I wish I didn't have to go through it. But when something bad happens, there's usually something good that happens. You get closer to God if you believe in God. Or that bad thing might make you believe in God. Not make you believe in God, but start to see God. And also, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I do believe in that. Now, in case you're wondering, how am I doing? Well, I'm sad, mad, and happy all at the same time. I'm happy because I won a hat today in my race. It was supposed to be a 5K, but they shorted us 1.5 miles, and I think I finished it in 15 minutes, but I'm not sure because I really couldn't see the time, because when you're running, you don't take the time to look at the clock too good. But anyways, I didn't win a medal because the age group was so broad, since there was about 175 people. But I did win a hat in a raffle, and it's different colors. So God gave me the blessing of winning a hat out of a raffle ticket. And it's got a fish on it, and it's different colors. And God gave me the blessing of me seeing my dad on Easter tomorrow. Because at first we weren't going to do anything. And then we are. We're not going to have the traditional stuff, but it's spending time with my dad. Because my dad has esophagus cancer, so he can't eat that good. But he's going to make spaghetti and salad. Well, correction, I don't know if he's making the salad or my mother is. Anyways, and then we're going to have rolls. So we're going to spend time that way. And when you learn about two people in your family having cancer, number one, you worry. Well, I'm not trying to generalize this. I'm just saying for me. And before I get started, I know some of you people think, you believe in God, you shouldn't be worrying like this. There's still the devil that helps you to worry. The devil will steal your joy away from God is what the devil is trying to do. Anyways, number one, I'm worried that my mother's going to catch it because her brother has advanced lung cancer. My father is not on the same side as my mother. And in case you're wondering if I'm going to get it, I was adopted at the age of 2. So I have no idea. But I can't get it from them since I was adopted. So anyways, first thing, you worry about saying the wrong thing every time you spend time with those people. You worry about how long they have. You worry about if you fall asleep at night, if they're going to die in their sleep. You worry about saying goodbye to them. You worry about if you did enough to help them through this time. You worry about how your relationship was in the past. You worry about if you should have told them to stop smoking more times. You worry about if they didn't smoke, if they didn't get cancer. You worry about how much pain they're going to suffer. You drive yourself nuts because you don't understand cancer that well. I've read about it and I looked it up. You worry if they're even going to remember you after chemo, since it went to my dad's brain. You worry about if he's going to commit suicide and not deal with the pain. You worry about how your mother is feeling. You worry about not saying the wrong thing to your mother. You feel like a burden in some ways because you feel like your problems are lighter than what your family's dealing with. Like right now, I feel guilty for eating ice cream at 3 a.m. I haven't done that in years. I feel guilty because I am trying to worry about how to get rid of my pimples. You realize what's important to you, too. And you find out how alone you are because nobody knows what to say, really. Nobody wants to be around you too much because they're afraid they're going to say the wrong thing. People don't understand, so they tell you to smile. You're confused about why this is all happening to you. So, that is that. And you worry about if you are going to say something mean to somebody else because you're going through a difficult time. You worry about if people are going to give up with you, which somebody already has, which he wasn't really a good friend to start with. But, yeah. It's my old trainer. But it's okay because I have a lot of other people supporting me, and I have the best person of all supporting me, the Lord. Anyways, and for some of you guys saying, you need counseling, you need counseling. No, I do not need counseling. You know why? I have the greatest counselor in all the land, and it is free to talk to him. It is the Lord. And sometimes, to be honest, I wish I could fall asleep and never wake up. But then again, I wouldn't have the blessing that I did today of winning a hat or meeting people and getting somebody to do the first 10K, which is 6.1 miles. And I wouldn't have the blessing of having this talk with you guys. So look for the good in the bad. And lean on the Lord above all. Now, and do the opposite. This is why when people say, when you're depressed or hopeless or whatever I am, do the opposite of what you want to do. That is so true. Yeah. So, my hair is awful. Yikesies. And then you have to worry about if you don't drive. Should I ask my mother to take me to the store? Should I tell her about what I'm dealing with? Is she going to understand what I'm dealing with? All these things that come to your mind. So, anyways, and people say to put it in God's hand. I am putting it in God's hand, but at the same time, as I said, the devil. Okay, now, here's the story about Easter, and I'm doing this from past stuff that I've learned from church and other stuff. So I might not get this exactly right, but here is the story. Okay, so Jesus did the Passover first. Well, somebody in the country, I forgot, the king, I think, was going to kill all the little babies because Jesus was born, and they were trying to find it. So people put X's on the door. And if there was an X on the door, then the babies didn't get killed. But if there was no X on the door, then the babies got killed. So that is what that is. And then there was the Last Supper, where Jesus, I don't know if he did it the Last Supper or another time, but Jesus washed his disciples' feet and washed the servants' feet. So it could be examples, so we could go wash other people's feet. So we can help other people out too, was an example. Jesus wanted to give us example how we should show love and compassion and kindness and not expect anything else. So he washed the feet. And then he broke bread for his disciples. And then there was Judas, who he knew was about to betray him by kissing him in the garden to get the people that wanted to kill him to show that that was Jesus. And Jesus still sat at the table with him. How many people would sit at the table with somebody knowing that they're about to be betrayed? So then Jesus walked with the cross in his hand. And then he was betrayed by something he didn't do because he was really the Messiah. And they didn't believe that he was the Messiah. So they asked the people if he should die, what should be his punishment? And they said, death. So then he went to the cross, and they nailed him to the cross. And then there was two criminals. One of them said, please forgive me, Jesus, or something like that. So then his eyes were open. And then Jesus died because they beat him and stuff. And Jesus died on the cross for you and my sins so we can be forgiven and live in everlasting. It means he brought hope to this world. And then he said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. That is the end of that. And then, 3 days later, he rose again. But before he rose, they stole his garment, his clothes. And people shouted him and mocked him, which means made fun of him too while he was on the cross. And then, 3 days later, he rose again. But before that, Mary went to the tomb to put perfume on him, and he wasn't there. And they put rocks on the tomb or the cave because they were afraid that was going to stop him from rising again because they knew. And then Mary went to go tell everybody what had happened. And then she started to cry because she thought somebody stole him. But in actuality, Jesus rose again. And remember, Peter denied Jesus when people asked him. And Jesus told him, I think 3 days before, somebody's going to deny me, and the crow is going to come by. And Peter denied him 3 times. And then, after Jesus rose again, I don't know how many days later, but he asked Peter, who am I? And he said Jesus 3 times. So that was Jesus' way of saying he forgave him. And that is the story of what Easter's really about, people. As I said, that is from memory and what I've been learning in church for all these years. I might not have it exactly right, but that is what it's about. It's about Jesus dying on the cross to give us hope, to give us life. You have a purpose in this world. Your purpose, if you believe in Jesus, is to be a disciple and to preach the word of God. Your guide and your truth and what you are made to do in this world and what is your plan is revealed in Jesus' guide, which is the Bible. And if you work too much that you can't see Jesus, then you're chasing the wrong things, in my opinion. If you work or are so busy that you can't stop and pray to Jesus or read the Bible, then your priorities need to be straightened out. Pray to Jesus first in your life. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Bye.